There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night.
the shop of One Esport at shop.oneesport.gg, and of course with the code CDOTA10. And besides this, do check out the Twitter, Twitch, and also YouTube of One Esports so that you can get notified every time when we go live.
Speaking of live, to everyone that's watching the tournament right now, we're actually going to be giving away a Logitech mouse. All you need to do is head on down over to that link right under me. Just fill in the survey and then you'll be in the running for a brand new Logitech mouse. I have to say it's really great that, you know, even though you might be just watching a game of Dota, that there's a chance that you can get some free goodies at home.
Yeah, it's like the Dota TV watching Dota TV right in the client. Back then, if you witness like a first blood, you get an item drop. If you witness like a multi-kill, you get an item drop as well.
True.
This is the same.
But this is an actual thing. It's not a skin. This is something you can actually hold.
Yeah. It's said that wasn't able anymore, but thanks to One Esport, we have these right now.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome. You know what else is awesome, guys? The draft is ready, so I think it's time for us to start looking at our first game.
Yeah, I think yesterday the first surprise that we really got to witness was Adroit dropping game 1 to new Esports, and in a pretty dominating fashion as well from the ex-Flower Gaming. They were basically rolling over Adroit, but we did discuss about it. It could be a fact that Adroit has never played new Esports before. Probably that information was from qualifiers or just solo rank records. So game 1 was a testing ground, but game 2 they managed to tie the series. What is the expectations coming into this series?
Well, I mean, Adroit, they definitely want to get all the points that they can have. Winning a series, getting 2-0 gets you 3 points. And as a Christian side, they are currently at 0 points, so they are they are struggling to get 1 point. They definitely want that. Both teams, they have a lot to lose.
I think in particular Execration, although then again some people would say that they did play against one of the favorite teams coming into the season, right? Yeah. So this is one of their difficult games done and dusted. Whereas I think Adroit, you're going to be pretty happy. You've got your point at least, so they're not in a situation where they'll be struggling. But if anything, yeah, if you can secure your points early, then at least later on down in the season, let's say something happens, maybe the team has a disagreement or there's a phase where maybe the team has some kind of issues, then if you lose some games because of those complications, you've got these points to fall back to and you won't be vulnerable to being knocked out, because again the final 2 teams get knocked out, and I think for anyone that's pretty devastating.
That's true. That's why in the early stage of the group stage you want to get as much points as you have, and most importantly win the matches that you are supposed to win. And for Adroit, this is one of the must win that you need to get.
Something I forgot to mention, and Husky, you talk about this a lot. This was off stream as well, if anyone's wondering. IceFrog's looking to go for another big patch drop, and I think mid-tournament as well, this is probably the scariest time to have a patch drop.
Yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter that it was a tease that IceFrog has plans for upcoming patches. He's tweaking the economy, he's making item changes, and I think hero nerfs and buffs would also come alongside it. So that is a pretty scary thought, right? Going into this league, you finish 4 weeks of group stage, you're feeling really comfortable, suddenly bam, a new patch comes out and you have to adapt. But it's the nature of the competition. I believe this is not the first time a patch got released mid-tournament.
Definitely not. I think a lot of tournaments have to go through that kind of turmoil.
Yeah, and this is why adaptability is always going to be very crucial for teams like that. The teams that are at the quickest to adapt to the new patch will be the one coming out on top.
Yep, but I think so far we look at this draft, the only, I would say, new bans are probably the Void Spirit and the Beastmaster. I think yesterday we saw a lot of Bat Rider, DK, Timber and Quap. The Ember also making a lot of appearance in the ban list, and Execration also decides to take out the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, both these teams, they have already witnessed how strong the potential of the Nature's Prophet carry can go. Neon Esports has been playing them all the time, and also Adroit have 4-1 game to them, so good that both teams will not be seeing this hero in this series.
But this does mean other heroes can make it through, and I think one of the most popular heroes that has been banned first phase is the Lone Druid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lone Druid is available if anyone wants to grab that. Now, if you let the Lone Druid through, let's say the hero gets picked up, what kind of heroes would you be expecting as counter picks against the Lone Druid?
Just heavy physical damage against the bear. I think all you need is just to kill the bear, right? Like, Lone Druid's power lies within his pet bear, his spirit bear. That bear carries all the items. Lone Druid normally just runs around with a boots and maybe a quelling blade, or some regen items. So you are looking at high burst, or high physical damage. Like even heroes like PL, illusion heroes do really well against the bear, as long as you get to control the bear, because the bear doesn't buy items like BKB. He just
Radiant team pick.
But they do have the PL now to deal with the Dazzle, Tiny. They are not, like all the 3 heroes that Adroit have now are bad against the PL.
Yeah.
And they instantly snatched the trend after they saw the Dazzle pick. So it shows that they have some kind of strategy going into this game. They want to utilize the living armor to protect the towers and then buy time for the PL to eventually carry the game.
Yeah, I think that the main problem about running this core Dazzle is you need to secure a decent early game. Like even if you don't win lanes, you have to go even. Because we've seen examples of Dazzle core, like Dazzle off lane, having a horrible early game and it doesn't come out well. He falls behind farm, but he still has to get his mag and arcane boost. That's like his essential items. So there's no other route that this Dazzle can take. You don't go for Midas, you don't go for like a straight Glimmer or Force Staff. It's just not efficient, right? So Adroit, they are putting a lot of emphasis on getting this Dazzle a decent lane. But with the PL on Execration side, it just tells Adroit that if this game goes into the mid game, this PL will start destroying your backlines.
Oh, Enigma again. So we have seen Bob playing this hero yesterday, and we have seen how good Enigma is when he's dealing with a lineup with only one core. Like yesterday, New Esports DDZ was playing the Morphling that is the sole core for them to win game. And Execration side, knowing this, they might want to get another hero that can be a winning condition as well beside the PL. Otherwise, Enigma's job is pretty easy. Just have to kill the PL during the black hole and game is done.
Yeah, I think for this, I don't know if Execration are considering like a Bloodseeker mid will be okay. If you're looking at this a Dazzle Enigma, surely this Enigma is either Enigma or Dazzle is going to be mid. But I feel like after what we saw yesterday, Bog on the Enigma mid, there's a huge possibility that it's going to happen again.
They could maybe just take a look at how the lanes are going to pan out first before they assign heroes to them.
Oh, there we go, the Mirana core.
Yesterday when Adroit picked this Enigma, they instantly banned the Rubik.
Yeah, they banned the Rubik, right? Yeah. But this was also due to the fact that I think the pick sequence for them, they focus on the Phoenix instead, which I find pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a trend. So they are worrying about the trend plus Phoenix combo.
Trend plus Phoenix, right?
But most of the time, we always talk about on paper how good this combo is, but when it comes to its execution, it never really seems that good.
It's difficult to execute, right? A lot of things have to go your way to get the Supernova Overgrowth combo to land, right? So
it just looks fancy, right? It's like your typical like Magnus Fen or like Magnus Shaker. On paper, it looks really fancy, right? You imagine it in your head.
Yeah.
RP, RP Black Hole, RP Echo Slam, but when it comes to practicality, it's almost impossible to pull off. Like you have to really lay everything together. But that is, considering that is without considering the fact that there's disables from enemy teams, that you might get silenced, you might get picked off. So this Phoenix ban is just a really safe ban from Adroit, but that means that they're giving this Rubik away.
And with this Rubik being shown, we are probably going to see a Trend core or Mirana core here. I do think that this might be a post-3 trend so that he can get his early levels and then get high levels of living armor and start to defend towers. They do have the amazing wave clear with Mirana Starfall and also Rubik's Fate Bolt.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time for them to stall for the PL to eventually come up online and deal with Adroit.
Now, speaking of Adroit, there is something that's kind of missing from the draft, and it's a hero that's really good at tower push. They have the Enigma. Enigma's okay when it comes to pushing towers, but Execration, they've got the PL. PL, fantastic tower pusher. Going to be easy to take those objectives when he gets that farm. So for Adroit, you've got one hero to go that also needs to fill in the slot of someone that can take down towers quickly. What kind of options are we looking at here?
Oh man, like the Troll was just banned now as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to throw Dazzle.
I think not only you're looking for a tower pusher, you're also looking for a hero that can kill PL. They don't have the PL killer right now.
You need someone to like destroy the PL.
Yeah.
Someone with a Battle Fury like this Ursa We talked about this.
No, sorry, still in the pool,
Yeah, it's still in the
surprisingly.
pool. There's the Lone Druid. Lone Druid, you go for like a Lone Druid with Mjolnir.
Ooh, but Pango counters an Ursa pretty hard.
Yeah. Like the thing is, like they can't pick. They can consider like TB. TB is also a decent PL counter. Oh, Alchemist. Okay, this is fun.
All right, so this is what happens, right? When you're running out of picks to deal with the enemy's
just
winning
go
condition,
Alchemist.
you just go out and let them deal with you.
So
Don't-
wait, what are we looking at for lanes for Adroit? Alchemist mid?
This could be an Alchemist mid.
Yeah.
They might go Alchemist safe as well.
I know that most of the time when Adroit picks Alchemist, it's always going to be Mac playing
A Mac
it.
playing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Natsumi, we saw him playing the Dragon Knight post 1 yesterday, so maybe he has a little bit of change of style from going this hard carry to more of a utility carry. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him on a Dazzle mid, as Dazzle post 1. It could be really.
Wait, Natsume on the Dazzle?
Yeah,
It
I
could
wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised.
At this point, I think, because of the meta, right? You hardly see a tiny core anymore. You might as well give the farm to the Dazzle.
Yeah, you just get your Necromonicon early, and then move yourself into this super utility role, get all the aura items you can get, and then just buff up this Alchemist, because you know that Alchemist is the one that's going to win you games.
So we're looking at a full Protect 1 strat today.
Yeah.
Seems like full Protect 1 is starting to pick up speed in the league, when this hasn't really been something that teams have been prioritizing in the past.
In this situation, it's just Adroit running out of ideas for now. I think this Alchemist, it puts a bit of pressure onto Execration, because now they have to play on a timer.
Yes.
But Execration has that late game insurance where this PR comes online, there's no way Adroit can deal with it. So they're both playing on two different conditions, but it's because Adroit are kind of forced into a corner, now they try to force something onto Execration.
So looking at the two drafts, I want to hear your predictions.
I'll put my money on Adroit, honestly. I'm a big hater of Alchemist because I know how strong this hero can be when you cannot deal with him, and I hate this hero, but I'll go with him.
Honestly, I feel like I'm going for Execration this time. I think Execration, if they can survive the first 25 minutes, their chances of winning becomes higher because of the PL.
So the PL. So you got Team Alchemist, you got Team PL, not just one or the other. All right, we'll see. Well, it looks like the game is ready, so let's jump into the game and let the games begin. Good to see who gets those points.
Prepare for battle.
All right, so Natsumi will be taking the Alchemist.
All right.
No crazy shenanigans. I was thinking, oh, Natsumi on the Dazzle would be pretty interesting to see, but I don't know. I wasn't sure if Natsumi's style of play would actually fit onto a Dazzle. He seems more comfortable on those very hard carries.
Yeah, very farm intensive heroes, and of course Mac will be on his favorite Dazzle. Even though he's not at mid, but he's still on his favorite hero. And Boomy, looking to be very aggressive here with pairing with Ninja Boogie.
Oh, Tiny Bane, very strong combination together. You got awesome setup, and then the Bane, you can't trade with the Bane at all. Let me try and go for Yaha. It looks like he might just be able to get away. He needs a little bit more movement speed. An arrow comes flying and ends up hitting that Tiny. And now with 3 heroes, it's going to be first blood. Boomy going to be giving its kill away over to Palos.
Huge rotation from Execration. They would really want to get a hold on their bounty rune so that they don't get Natsumi too good of a start. I mean, we have said that Alchemist is really good, but their draft is a little bit greedy though. They have to pull off this Dazzle side lane and Anima side lane to be working out to buy time for the Alchemist. If they lose their lane, then no one will be able to protect Alchemist while he's farming the jungle.
So looking at the lanes, we have to consider what lanes are most crucial here when you're trying to set up for the Alchemist lane. Like, are they trying to win the lanes? Will they be going for hyper aggression through ganks? Or are they going to play a little bit more passively just to ensure that everyone gets all the farm going into that mid game?
So the time when you are playing a lineup that has Alchemist or Anti-Mage, you want to make sure your side lanes win. So they are aggressive, they are strong enough and aggressive enough to buy time for the Alchemist. And in this situation, I really want to see they put emphasis on the Enigma or the Dazzle to make sure that they have a good lane so that they can pressure towers and buy time aggressively for the
And clearly, Execration, they know that the Alchemist lineup will blow up at 20 minutes if they don't do anything about it. So what's the goal here? How important is it for Ben-Hur to start roaming around on this Mirana? Would we be looking for map control? Would he be just looking to close down the jungle by ganking and applying pressure, putting wards down? Like, what are we expecting here for Execration to shut down the Alchemist?
I think first of all, Ben-Hur, he needs to make sure that he has a pretty decent lane and gets his early level on, try to get a hold on the bounty runes at 4 minutes or 6 minutes, and then make a move to either of the side lanes. And if you're talking about priority, I think bottom lane is your priority. You want to make sure that you bring down the tier 1 tower first so that you get access to the triangle of Radiant side and make sure that Alchemists do not get to just AFK at the Ancient and farm all the Ancient by every minute.
It looks like we're getting a lot of action down here. Lots of pressure being applied by Execration, and rightly so. This is the lane that Adroit really want to get going. And Natsume's doing okay. He's not dying or anything, but he's hanging on. He's just getting that CS wherever possible. Now, considering this is a tri-lane, what's the top lane situation for Execration? Are they fine with the one-on-one matchup, or do they actually need to pressure that top lane as well?
Well, I think Enigma is going to go off his lane pretty well. Look at him, 7 last hit, 7 and 7 already against BHM Pangolier. He's gonna get, you know, all the item he wants, get a Necromonicon early, and then start pushing towers, and then make this top lane a dead lane. And once he's able to achieve that, he'll be able to buy Alchemist a lot of space because Execration has to deal with Enigma at one point. Otherwise, his Eidolons and Necro units are just going to tear down towers.
Looks like for now, Dazzle is actually going to be leading the CS charts along with that PL. They're going to try and go for Natsume. And look at where's the support? Ninja Boogie, he's going to try and come in. Nightmare goes down. It won't be enough to kill off the Alchemist, so he'll be okay. But instead, it looks like Mac goes down. Ben-Hur grabbing a kill on the Dazzle. Much needed on that Mirana.
Definitely much needed. They need Ben-Hur to go off in this game and then just dominate the side lanes and whatnot. Mirana has gone for a very aggressive build. 2-1-0 build at level 3 that allows him to get a kill on Mac. We are seeing a Boomy TP down, bottom as Tiny with level 2. So we are potentially going to see a sleep into toss-back combo here. Boomy is making his way towards the bottom. Yaha is in big trouble here.
Yeah, they're going to try and get into position here with that Tiny. He's getting slowed down by RR. Avalanche goes down. There's the toss back onto Natsume. The lift is there, and they will grab that kill. Unfortunately for Yaha, the lift not able to really protect himself with it at all. So it's a pretty big win for Adroit. Your Alchemist lane, you're getting kills, and you're not necessarily slowing down the Alex farm.
Yeah, definitely. The big win is definitely going to be Enigma, and Ben-Hur surprisingly get a kill on Mac. That's pretty good. That's a surprise factor.
Looks like
a little bit of bottle refueling going on here. It's a 4-minute mark, so both teams are going to get a hold on the power rune. Boomy gets a regeneration rune, but he's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be run down by the Starfall. Another kill for Ben-Hur. Oh, double Rift ban and a bottle already. You don't want to be giving this Mirana too much of a kill. He's gonna be a monster if you keep giving him that.
How big of a monster could Ben-Hur actually be? Like how soon could the Mirana start just roaming around the map and give the lane off to a support perhaps?
I think as soon as you get level 7, that's your prime. When you get the level 4 Starfall, because that gives you like what, 360 damage, and if you get double Starfall, that's gonna be 720. But Ben-Hur, is he gonna take down by the Poison Touch?
You have to keep an eye on that Mirana. Tippy actually gets to heal off, so he should be fine. The salve, the bottle, Mirana should be fine for now. So no kill for Dazzle, unfortunately. You would actually love to grab that kill on the Mirana, take some momentum away. Instead, Palos getting a brain set there from Ninja Boogie. Still alive, they can't fully commit to this PL. Although PL runs right onto Natsume. They say it doesn't really matter, you've got nothing left to disable this PL. They won't kill off the Alk at all. They're going to try and commit to the PL. Really low though, Natsume wanting to go for Palos, but instead going to have to come back and protect that bait instead. Looks like they will. Toss back onto the tower. They don't commit to the bait at all. RR taking critical amounts of damage and will go down to the tower pot shots.
Once again, they don't get a kill on Alchemist and they feed a kill away. So big win for Adroit here. focusing on most of the firepower of Execration at bottom side, but Execration haven't been achieving much. They have been killing the supports, but not Natsumi. And this is what we have said, right? You try to shut down the Alchemist, you don't kill him, but he's always going to be able to recover at a pretty fast pace. And by doing this, you give up the pressure on the Enigma, you give up the pressure on the Dazzle. Enigma has already gotten his Necron Icon completed at the minute 6th. This guy is going to be skilled like a crazy guy.
This is crazy too because we've actually seen Bok get solo kills on this Enigma before, and he did crazy amounts of damage. So even though you've got a Pango lane matchup, I think the Pango's he's got a pretty good chance of being picked off, unfortunately. Bottom lane is, we could say, a sad case for Execration. They really wanted to shut down the Alt. What's the contingency plan? Is it all now just going to be on this Mirana to try and shut down that? Oh, the Black Kill! Oh no! Oh, Bok! He really wanted to grab that Mirana, but he still loses the Bane. And I mean, Bok, he should go down here. Double leap from Ben-Hur. They're going to commit.
Double kill.
Oh, Bok.
Oh,
That may have just been a caster curse. Apologies.
yeah, that's the hesitation. You never want to be hesitated as Enigma. That looks like a kill if he managed to pull off the black hole, but right now Mac is running away from Ben-Hur. This is the timing we are talking about. Mirana, he wants to move whenever he gets a power rune. So every even minute, the supports of Execration want to make sure that they help Ben-Hur get a power rune, because we have just seen how strong Ben-Hur can be with the lucky DD or the haze or even the Invi rune.
I'm going to try and lift. At that one set, Dazzle, do they have the damage for it? Looks like they're just going to back up. A bit worried about Boomy coming in with the Avatos combo. And so they will at least keep Mac alive. But Ben-Hur, he's really starting to show his colors on this Mirana. So I think maybe yesterday, if we look at the Mirana pickup, I think this may have been one of the reasons why they wanted to pick up that Mirana. Ben-Hur just feeling really confident. He seems to be very, very strong on that Mirana in general. He just knows his limitations.
Yeah, I think this is the strength of Ben-Hur. He loves to be playing this playmaking style of heroes, the Co-op, the Lena, the Kunkka, and the Mirana as well. Any heroes that has a certain amount of mobility and burst damage, he loves these heroes. Bottom side, Natsumi is leading at the Naval Charge, no surprise here. Double bracing the power threat. I don't think you can easily kill this Alchemist anymore. If you want to do that, you have to invest a lot of firepower into him.
Yeah, that's very true. They'd probably have to bring 4 heroes to go gank Natsumi now. There's a lot of defense on the side of Adroit. It'll be very difficult to take him down. But we are seeing some rotations coming in. Palos is going to be joined here with the Treant, and we might be seeing the Rubik coming in. So this tri-lane versus tri-lane, even up until now, 8 minutes in, they're still trying their best to shut down the Alt, but it basically seems like nothing's going on. It's a stalemate since everyone's showing their face, not really giving any opportunities away.
Exactly. I think the only thing that Execration can be happy about is that at 9 minutes, Alchemist is still level 5.
Oh, nice nightmare there from Ninja Boogie. They're going to go for the avalanche onto Ben-Hur, make sure that they can't commit. And Ben-Hur just going to head back into that mid lane. A bit of waste of time, I suppose, thinking they could have gotten a kill. Lane and Tiny, a very strong duo, if anything. You've got the setups with the Nightmare, the tossbacks, gives your team a favorable position. They've got a very defensive lineup.
Yeah, like we said, 4 Protect 1 lineup. And another Necro Book from Dazzle is completed, so Adroit now, they are looking to ramp up the tempo, utilizing this double Necro Book timing, and they make a move at 9:30, so they want to push on this tower, hopefully get an outpost, as well as the Bounty Rune, and that would be perfect for the Alchemist.
They might try and go for a kill onto BHM on this Hangar, although they probably need a Black Hole for that. Oh, instead they have to run into Naha instead. Oh, Ben-Hur coming in for a backstab. Black Hole gets thrown down. They will pull the lift off, so the Black Hole won't complete, but it doesn't matter. They've killed off the Kitty Cat. There goes Ben-Hur. They keep rolling in there. They're running to the main, and Yaha unfortunately going to go down as well, all alone on that poor Rubik.
Yeah, great recognition by Adroit. They were prepared for this. You saw that the Dazzle is moving towards the Enigma because Enigma is the strongest hero right now whenever he has Black Hole. So you definitely want to play with Enigma. You don't want the Enigma to come to you. And then now they are pressuring the top tower. They're forcing Execration to respond to them. And this is what you want to do when you are running an Alchemist lineup. You want to be aggressive at the side lanes so the Alchemist gets his time, gets his own sweet time farming in the jungle for his Radiance.
Yep, they TP Ben-Hur to the middle lane, and it looks like top lane will be forfeited. They've got no one here at all to defend. They've got the Pango up there that's still farming away, but it seems for now Execration, they're just going to get slowly overwhelmed. They've tried to make some movements. It didn't necessarily work in their favor, just because Adroit, it seems like every time they just know how to brick wall that aggression.
Yeah, and this is a scary thing about having an Alchemist on your opponent's side, because every time you screw up these kind of scrimmages or attempts to kill, you're just giving away time for Alchemist to become bigger and bigger. And every attempt, you want to make sure that it counts. And so far, Execration, they're really not pressuring these Alchemists at all.
So what was the main idea behind Execration's lineup? Because they sort of missed this opening to shut down Natsume's lane. Even mid lane, they tried to at least get some ganks in with Ben-Hur. He had a reasonable lane at least. He didn't get shut down, he didn't lose his lane. But then a couple ganks and everything just seems to go backwards for this Mirana. So what's the contingency plan now? Do they have to play 4 Protect 1 themselves and just go PL versus Alchemist?
I don't think you want to do that, because I do think that if this Adroit 4 Protect 1 lineup comes online, there will be nothing. That's going to be very difficult to stop them. And Execration right now, they have to utilize all these small windows that they can have. For example, there's no black hole right now. So this is a time that you want to make a move. 60 seconds on cooldown for Enigma's black hole. You have 1 minute of timing or window for you to make a move.
Oh, there we go. Fiend script. They're going to try and go for this kill onto the PL. We don't have enough damage though. And instead he's going to turn. Well, PL ends up dying anyway. Boomy, he's got all of the PL illusions on him, but the Tiny doesn't really care. That wasn't really the best play, unfortunately. And even Rubik going down as well to Ninja Boogie.
He was so greedy.
Sorry, to Mac.
He got a double kill off, and then he still ran back into the Tiny instead of retreating.
Was it maybe he thought if he showed the PL by running away, maybe tried to confuse the Tiny with the illusions?
Yeah, maybe, but he wasn't trying to juke or whatsoever. I think he was just trying to turn, because Tiny has no spells left. But Ninja Boogie, props to him, he able to identify the real PL and nuke him down. Right here, R might be a shame. Oh, that's R, yeah.
It's fine. B1 with the trees, he says. He'll be fine. We've got another smoke here. Adroit looking for blood again. This Tiny combo. Just amazing setup for all of their heroes. It's going to be heading towards that mid lane.
Yeah, most of their cores, they want to stay in the lane. Enigma, they aren't the heroes that want to be moving around because they don't have high mobility.
Oh, Yaha, there's the toss initiation with the... Oh, they're back from the Rubik. They've got the Nightmare set up. There's the Avalanche. Arrow comes through. Will land on the Tiny, who's sitting under the tower. Rolling Thunder comes in from that tank. The BHM just wanting to make sure any...
He made it!
Oh!
What just happened?
He gets out!
Wow.
Oh, that is devastating.
Boomy, calm and collected. Just TP out like that with the grave.
I have a new phrase.
Yes.
When in doubt, TP out.
Wow. Nice rhyme. Nice rhyme. Alchemist just 300 gold away from the Radiance. Oh, the black.
What's the black hole?
Stolen back.
Follow-up damage though. Yeah, it's stolen. The Mirana's gone down though. Now everyone on the Radiant side going to have to look for the retreat. BHM trying to go for that kill with the Avalanche toss, but AoE control is just too much for the Dire. And now unfortunately this poor Pango going to be running away from all those Necro units, this Tiny and the Enigma. Still running though. Can he make it? The mini stuns. Oh, he doesn't make it to the low ground. He knows he's there. They're going to leave him?
Huh.
Oh.
Are they not commenting to him? Interesting.
Tiny's going for the wraparound. Maybe he's going to try and snatch him up before he gets out. Oh, they blink back. Okay, they say, no, you're not safe. Still going. The toss, he gets it. So there is the arrow from Ben-Hur where the follow-up. It's just a Mirana. Oh my goodness.
There's also a good synergy that we've seen. There's a lot of summoning units from both Mac and Enigma. So we are seeing some really huge killing bomb from Desert during team fights. And also huge props to Ninja Boogie again. He realized that the Rubik stole the black hole, so he instantly finish drip him and focus him down, making sure that he doesn't play any counter black hole up. And Alchemist already finished up his Radiance and he's looking into a BKB, so looking to get an early BKB to join his team and ramp up the tempo even faster.
Yeah, I think if anything, Execration's hoping that Natsu is not as farmed as he is. The Alchemist is just jigging and diving in the jungle, enjoying the Radiance burn, just flash farming. And I suppose at this point you gotta say, if Kalos, how can he speed up this game? Again, another TP out. They all have the arrow at least, so Boomy will go down this time. But it seems like Kalos, he's going to have to ramp up his own tempo because this PL, he can't spend much more time farming himself. He needs to start contributing to these fights.
Yeah, one good thing is at least he has got a pretty early diffuser timing. He got it at 15 minutes, but as a creature hero, are they able to follow up to his aggression though? I mean, the only heroes who can follow up to you is the Mirana and the Pango. Both the Rubik and the Trent, they'll need quite a bit of levels and items to follow you up, and BKB is already done.
Does the Rubik still have black hole?
No, he died straight away after he stole that.
Okay, it's unfortunate. Maybe they could have gone for a team fight if they had that black hole still, but it's the unfortunate game here for Execration. But at least they're hanging on. It's not all done and dusted yet. They've still got Palos, their win condition. And they... Ooh, there's some ping. Or Moonlight Shadow coming in, Rolling Thunder. There is the grip, and I believe that was onto the Pango. They're still gripping. There's nothing to cancel. Pango goes down. They get no initiation from that Pango. Now it's a full retreat for Execration. It's basically a wasted Moonlight Shadow. You're going to try and lift back, but the toss onto that Rubik, they will at least start getting those mini stuns in. Are they going to keep chasing though? Looks like they might be getting a bit too close to those towers. Ninja Boogie looking to cut in from the left side though, will run into Palos instead. They do know that this is the real PL. They're still going to keep burning with those diffusal illusions. They're still going though, very aggressive, but they're not fully committing. So Adroit being very composed, not going too deep with the dives.
Like we just mentioned, Pangolier was really aggressive, but there was no follow-up by Execration. And it was interesting because Ninja Boogie was putting out a full Finn's Drift duration on the Pangolier while he's doing the Rolling Thunder, and there's no cancel from his teammates. And that's a big one.
They found the arrow there with Benefit, but they can't fully go into that.
No black hole.
The black hole goes down, but who does it lock down? The counter black hole! It was stolen by the Rubik, but where's the damage? The Graven's there. They still keeping the Alchemist. Oh, it ends up going down with the Enigma though. Alchemist Natsume's running, gonna chase after BHM. The Pango's alone. RR's nearby, but has no mana, so it looks like the fight is more or less over here for Execration. It looked like it was gonna be a good turnaround, but they end up only getting a couple kills, which was the Enigma and the Bane, who at the end of the day, they accomplished what they needed to. Enigma with that black hole, his job is done.
Yeah, I mean, even though he didn't catch anyone in the black hole, but Natsumi was strong enough to make sure that he turns the fight around. A lot has happened, but the main boss, Alchemist, didn't fall, and this is what Adroit would be very happy about. Alchemist starting to pull off a very good distance of network difference between him and the PL. PL is going for the diffuser into Manta, so he's more looking forward to survive instead of killing this Alchemist. And Alchemist is going to go for either something like a Sub-Cuirass next or a Heart of Cuirass next to make sure that he stays alive every time he does the fight.
Oh no, they found the Mirana! Ben-Hur going down again, 40 seconds off the board. And I think this push is going to continue. If there's no Mirana, you're going to be feeling pretty confident as Adroit. There's nothing to stop you.
Avalanche is so good against Mirana because he couldn't leap out.
Toss forward BHM, gets stunned, Rolling Thunder, but the Avalanche will land in time. No way to get out, and that Pango also off the board for 30 seconds. So also no buyback.
Yeah, they have really good spells in stopping the charge, in stopping the Rolling Thunder, anything that needs a decent time of channeling. Yaha is gonna take this outpost away, but Tiny is there though. Tiny has a ping dagger. Can you stop this? Not in time.
Oh, I'm gonna kill that Rubik.
He might even get outpost in time as well.
Should be able to, and it looks like they've also found the Triad. There's just so much vision across the board here for Adroit. Execration, they're starting to get suffocated even on their own side of the map. The only hero that's doing all right is Palos, but this is more or less to be expected for the PL. You need to be farming in the enemy jungle because at this point of time, it's safer than your own jungle.
Yeah, definitely. But also, right now, Adroit know that the PL will be just AFKing at the bottom side, so Roshan is going to be very available for them if they want to take it. They have great tools to take it, Poison Touch and the Bad Juju to reduce the armor. Alchemist is going for Butterfly instead. Oh.
So why would you want to go Butterfly here? Is it for the evasion against the PL and the Mirana?
I think he wants more evasion because both PL and Mirana, they do DPS damage. Magical damage is a little bit limited on the side of Execration. This is the thing I don't like about Trent plus Rubik, because you do very limited damage output. All you offer is disable, and you really need to rely on your core for that damage output.
I think in theory it makes sense. They become the PL, you will be able to doppelganger out of their instead they just toss back the Rubik. Small kill, very easy. Looks like BHM is actually going for the Rolling Thunder, but the follow-up, it's not going to happen all alone. Palos again, by himself, really far forward. The Enigma, Black Hole to lock down the PL. And where's his teammate? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, the toss back into the Black Hole. BMH, he was supposed to be safe, but he stuck around. He can't stick around with the tiny thinking about this toss like that.
Yeah, the dual support from Adroit are playing super well as always. Both Boomy and Ninja Boogie. I think Yaha on Rubik has been really stealing some really crucial ultimates, but every time he does that, either Ninja Boogie or Boomy will just jump on him and immediately kills him off. We have already seen this twice, and it really is limiting the effectiveness of the Rubik.
Yep. So now the game is basically in the hands of Adroit. It's up to Adroit to make the mistakes now, it seems, because Execration, no matter what they do, every time they try and engage, they just either get caught, they get shut down, they get locked down, they get black hole, and it almost seems like they just don't have anything to effectively cancel the black hole besides the Rubik. The Rubik seems to be the one that's been preventing the black hole from fully operating.
Yeah, and they're realizing the fact that Rubik is a crucial factor for them to take down ISO. Every time in the team fight, they'll always prioritize Rubik. And Roshan will be following, and Aegis will be following the hand of Alchemist, so this further increase the room for error for Adroit. Right now they're sitting at almost 20k at 23 minutes. They're allowed to make a lot of mistakes here, and Execration, they have to capitalize on their mistakes coming up with Adroit, but you have to do it multiple times though to really come back into this game.
Tango. I'm very sure if you're playing this game, every time you get hit by the nightmare, you've got to be thinking, oh, where's that toss? Yeah. When's that toss going to happen? I've seen it so many times, the toss backs coming out from that tiny. So scary. We just got to keep an eye on Boomy here. Who's the target? I'm worried for Yaha because he's sitting very far forward. Of course, he's supposed to be the one to kill off the creep, slow down the push, but you really need that Rubik in this matchup.
No damage is being dealt to Nasumi, just sitting there.
The tree taking big damage as well, already down to half HP. They're struggling. The grip, they managed to find the Mirana. They've had the detection to catch her out. That's it. Mirana's dead for 47 seconds. They had the Rolling Thunder coming, but it's just far too late. And now another ultimate is on cooldown. You really needed that Rolling Thunder.
Another 2 duration round of this grip. Boomy is looking for a toss back here. It's not going to be successful though, but Nasumi doesn't care. All he wants to do is tower, object gaming is a key here.
I really didn't care about the towers. He's so tanky now with all of that gold he's accumulated from those kills.
Yeah, this is how you want to play the tiny. You want to be positioning yourself at in front of Nasumi, and every time you see Execration step up, you can go for the toss back. And if you don't find opening, you'll just be a protection for Nasumi.
Alright, Palos TP again from the side, gets tossed back by Boomy. They saw the TP, PL just getting onto the high ground. Yaha going for the comeback as well, 4 stuff out, Black Hole catching out on the 2. Where's the cancel? There's no way to cancel. It was a BKB on that Enigma. That's going to be a buyback on the Rubik. PL, he's still alive, but down to half HP. You've got to be a little bit worried here because you've used your ultimate. Another toss back. Boomy again this time catching out that Rubik. That's a dieback on the Rubik. Now you're going to be permanently fighting 4v5. It's just, where's the damage?
You have no damage. PL couldn't even go into the fight.
Oh no. They managed to get another grip this time. Palos, oh, he will just get away from that avalanche. He's still fighting. He's in the middle of it. The thick of things. Still fighting. The Grave managing to keep him alive. They won't finish him off with Palos. But we've lost 2 so far. We're looking to maybe lose more. Mac almost on the verge of dying. Another shallow Grave coming out. Got the overgrowth from RR, but again, where's the follow-up? They will at least grab the kill onto Mac. But at the end of the day, it's just a dazzle. The shallow Graves might be gone, but you've still got to deal with this big, bad Alchemist.
They're just too much sustained right now from the side of Adroit. And once again, Execration, just like yesterday's game, they're running low in damage output. They've got nothing in their arsenal to bring down this dazzle, let alone the Alchemist.
They see RR. They know this Treant is around. We can't quite get the pulse off, just the avalanche. And another set of Raxes. 25 minutes in, we're looking at another potential set of Raxes in less than 30 minutes. You're running out of time here for your Execration.
And this is not the prime of an Alchemist yet. It's just 24 minutes. It's his first Aegis. Most of the time we look at Alchemist, his prime is at the second Aegis with Cheese. And when he was 6 slotted right now, he's still got 2 slots.
Hang on, this might be the do or die. They say we've got to do something now. They use the Moonlight Shadow as well. They're going to quickly snipe off the Bane.
That's just a Bane though.
I think if anything, they just want to create some time. They just need to get more time for Palos to get that farm. Try and see if they can at least get their Aegis to expire. That's probably the one thing they really don't want to deal with. 2 Alchemists.
And they're just happy with anything that they can get right now. A Basher completed on Alchemist, so he's going for the Abyssal. Another tools for them to get down the PL that is super elusive. Or the Pangolier as well. You can always BKB and Abyssal the Pangolier when he's rolling Thunder. So a lot of ways to deal with the elusive hero from Execration. And it looks like they have no plans of slowing down their tempo as well. They're always hugging as a unit, go for objective after objective.
Well, I think at this rate, you got to understand this is your strongest power curve in the game, right? Oh, Black Hole, this is just Palos all on his own. They get the PL, they do get him!
This is the beauty of
no.
This is the beauty of Enigma. When you are running a single core lineup, the Enigma just afford to do that every time.
Enigma.
Yes.
Very fat,
a fat Enigma, yep.
Wow.
We have been seeing Bob, he's never shy to just pull off this one-man black hole on the core.
It's huge too because spending 60 seconds off the ball. Especially as this PL, you're supposed to be farming now, trying to get your next item for that next fight. Possibly the next item that could turn this game around, because if anything, if you're Execration, you want any kind of break you can get, whether it be a support kill, if you can maybe snipe the Aegis. Very unlikely at this stage. Boomy again just being a big nuisance here. Alchemist actually blinked forward onto Yaha. This Rubik likely going to go down. There's no way to protect him. We've got no dazzle on your own, no defensive spells. 2 heroes gone. You've got 10 seconds left on the Palos. PL needs to come back, and something's got to happen now. Otherwise, these Raxes are down and they're dealing with the creeps.
Solar Crest plus Chemical Rage. How are you stopping this guy? You're just hoping to stop him by the lucky shot.
Okay, Rolling Thunder comes in. They've also gone for the Moonlight Shadow. There is protection nearby, so they're not fully immune. Instead, they're going to try and go onto that Tiny. The Grave was there in case the damage was going to finish him off. Boy got the Basher. The Abyssal gets thrown. There's not the net too. Very patient. No full commitment from either side.
Yeah, Overgrowth and the Rolling Thunder has been committed, but they don't get anybody. They don't even get the Tiny jab.
Oh no, they might lose the Pango now. He's almost got no battle left. He will get chopped down by that Alchemist. Then the backlines though, we've actually got Palos working away at that Tiny. They're all now going to start converging on the PL and looking for him, but he's shooting and driving through the tree line. They don't know where he is.
I love how Adroit is playing right now. They're playing as a ball right now. They're playing like a unit. Every time PL goes for their backline, they'll just hug together, go close to the Alchemist because they know that they have the Radiance effect.
Going again, Palos alone. His team has got to protect him. They've got the Avalanche. They're still going for everyone's still sitting on the high ground. They are so scared to go down to help that PL. And I suppose at this rate, it's the safest thing to do because the PL is the only one that'll survive on that low ground. He's slowing them down, but it's not stopping the push.
They're just going to stay here until they get the Mega Creep.
And slowly chipping away at those Raxes. It's do or die at some point. They've got to make it work. Oh, they managed to catch out the Enigma. I don't know what to do at this time. Rolling Thunder comes out. It looks like they've got two. Black Hole, it's on to one so far. And it looks like they're going to grab the kill. That was the kill. They have no way to cancel the Black Hole at all. And it looks like now we're just going to see Execration fall one by one. GG gets called out as well. Adroit just looking way too strong. It just, nothing that they did, nothing that Execration could have done was going to shut this train down.
Well, generally, this is 4 protected one for you, and to an even further extent is a fraud.
I feel like you can kind of let the either the Enigma or the Dazzle
10
through, right?
seconds
It alleviates a bit of a pressure of who to focus on, but
5 seconds remaining.
at one point you have to analyze the cost and risk benefits, right? You can't just focus your ban onto like just Enigma, Dazzle. You end up letting DK through. There's Ember,
10
Void Spirit,
seconds
Bat Rider.
remaining.
There's still so much
Dire
heroes
team
Lone
there.
Druids
And Lone Druids.
as well. So I'm quite surprised that we didn't really see any picks for Lone Druid in the last game. I don't think Lone Druid was banned at all either. I think Lycan ended up getting the ban instead.
Lycan, Phoenix, Troll, and I think Lina at the very end. So Lone Druid went through, Ursa went through, but no one picked it.
Yeah, we know that Lone Druid is strong, but also you need to have a Lone Druid player on your team to make it work. I don't know if Adroit or Execration have player. We don't see them play Lone Druid too much. But Beastmaster, about this hero, we have seen this hero gone through the drafting phase, I think. And yesterday Mac played the mid Beastmaster, and it really fits the role of like a Dazzle, right?
Is it mid Beastmaster?
Yes, it was a mid Beastmaster by Mac. Yep.
No, it was a mid Enigma by Bob.
Huh.
It was a mid Enigma into the DDZ Morphling. Then after that he went jungle. Then Mac
Oh yeah,
went
it was
mid.
the
yeah.
Enigma mid.
Alright,
I
alright.
remember because of the denies.
Oh, there we go. Enigma
against,
best.
yeah. Alright, no Enigma. So we've got a couple other heroes that are making their way through now.
Bat Rider.
Bat Rider.
Bat Rider went
Yeah,
through.
Bat Rider could. Oh, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. Yeah, that's a good start, right?
Alright, so this is the aggressiveness that we want to see from Execration, right, to come into this game, to make that kind of changes. And the droids, we have seen a lot of clings into Beastmaster, so I don't know if we are going to see that. I will be pretty down for that though.
Yeah, but then the Beastmaster also makes life slightly easier if a droid decides to go for the Bat Rider, because if he tries to
10
lasso
seconds
anyone other than the
remaining.
Beastmaster, you can lock him down with the Primal Roar
And you can
kill him
even
off.
spot out the
5
Bat Rider with the
seconds
Hawk as
remaining.
well.
Yeah, that's a
probably
good
one of
find.
the most important things. So you can even argue maybe the Bat Rider gets countered by the Beastmaster.
Dire team.
In a sense, yeah.
Dire team.
But he's always a strong laner, so
Going back to the Tiny,
yep.
Good chance Boomy's going to be playing that again, considering his performance in the
Yep.
last game.
It's his third tiny pick, I think. Yeah, it's his third tiny pick.
yeah, Boomy loves the Tiny, Shaker, the Rubik,
Yeah.
or Mirana, but he particularly loves this melee pulse 4. And for the side of
10 seconds.
Ninja
10
Boogie,
seconds
we might see a
remaining.
Bane coming back again.
Even a
Bane,
Grimstroke, right?
yeah, Grimstroke.
Five
Okay,
seconds,
another thing that
5
Ninja
seconds
Boogie loves a lot is the ability to wave clear.
Yeah.
But they are going another route. They are going for Chen. So this is going to be the Chen versus Beastmaster.
Yes, yes, another classic matchup.
Getting the board away from him.
Can you imagine Execration goes for like an Enchantress? It's like, oh, you steal the board, like this board is mine.
Oh, it's going to be the cream stealing.
It's like, what do you call that? Trying to get custody of the children.
Oh my
it's just a
goodness.
tug of war.
But it's not even their children, it's Beastmasters.
It's Beastmaster's kid.
His
You know?
pet.
I think this is called kidnapping. This is not. It's like,
remaining.
oh my goodness, guys. Thanks for being on the panel with me. You guys are fun. Execration, they're looking for their next pickup. Any heroes that do you feel Execration played really well that they want to be grabbing up very early over the past 2 days?
Still Mirana. Well, I guess Mirana now makes sense. You can kill off the Chen creep.
Yeah. And then you have a setup as well with the primary rock.
Yeah, way better than the Trend. Just don't pick Trend.
Just don't pick
And also the vision game from Execration is going to be great, right? You have the Hawk, and then you have the summons. You need to always push out the late lanes, and then you might be able to get a move by the Moonlight Shadow from Mirana. So there's a lot of synergy between these two picks. I'm liking them already.
Yeah, if they really want to, they can, you know, pick a Pango for like their 4th pick or something. The Pango flex would be decent, but it's kind of hard to slot in because they open up with the Beastmaster.
They could leave their options available for now, just sort of pick up another support.
Yeah.
See what they're going up against instead.
Speaking about this,
They have to pick a support, right? I think a Grimstroke will be okay. Double Primal Raw. Your wave play is decent against the Chen creep.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
I want to see something like a Venge Luna though coming up from Execration. They have the Beastmaster to ramp up the tempo already for Luna. And then we might be able to see a Shadow Demon as well, pair with the Mirana. And then Shadow Demon plus a Luna seems like a combo to them.
Do you feel like maybe the Venge, Luna, and Mirana being a bit greedy together?
Not really, honestly.
I guess if you want to like go Venge Luna, this Mirana is definitely going to be a support in that case.
But that's the issue, right? Because I feel that support Mirana, it's a bit greedy, and Venge support also needs to be a bit greedy.
Yeah, but Venge, most people are playing it at mid right now,
As a
so it's
mid,
less greedy. You get your early levels up, and then you just follow your Mira. You just follow your Luna wherever it goes, taking down towers, taking Roshan, like what we seen yesterday from T1.
I guess it's okay if they pick the Venge as the 3rd pick, right? Because there's a chance that you can still flex the Venge into a support, and you fall out with like your core, and then you leave like your last pick for maybe your mid or your post 1.
Because one of the issues I'm kind of looking at here is that we've seen how Adroit from the light.
Chen Pro 3. We're looking at the Chen Pro 3, boys.
Heck yeah.
Offlane Chen.
So the point I was making is that I'm a little bit worried because Adroit, they've been so good when it comes to sniping off all these Execration heroes. They just go in with the tiny, they just avatos someone back in, they grab an easy kill. All those heroes that we listed, super squishy. The only one that can kind of survive, I suppose, is that Beastmaster. But outside of that, they don't really have the best heroes with defensive mechanisms. They're not running an Oracle. They don't have a Dazzle themselves. It's all based on reaction timing here and also positioning.
I guess you can go for like an Oracle Faceless Void if you really want to, or Oracle Troll that like builds in the Battle Fury. A Faceless Void builds a Maelstrom. You can still take out Chen creeps and deal with like Caudal and Tiny.
Oh, Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor. Who was it? You, Husky, that was talking about the Witch Doctor yesterday.
Yeah, I think we were talking about how Witch Doctor is
Not being picked yet.
Not being picked yet, right? But Witch Doctor is also another good answer to this Chen. Your 5-second stun from Paralyzing Cast disables his creeps.
I think Witch Doctor makes a lot of sense now because it's pretty obvious that Adroit is going to run the offlane Chen. So Witch Doctor is going to be really great against him. The Melodic is going to be too good. Oh, the PA.
Yes.
Oh, this hero is so good on lane against Beastmaster because of your passive, the blur.
Yeah,
it's going to mitigate most of the board damage coming out from the Beastmaster. And you're looking at 2 very squishy support from Execration, both Mirana and the Witch Doctor.
And you've only got one really good reliable disable for the PA, which is the Roar.
The Roar.
Right? The Arrow, not so reliable, you need setup. And the Cask, you actually still need to wait for the projectile to hit. So they don't really have the best way to keep a PA on her toes. So what are you kind of looking at here when you deal with the PA? Do you need magical damage to bypass that blur early? Or is it mostly going to just be hard lockdown?
You definitely want some magical damage here because look at Execration, they don't have any magic burst so far. Another way is you want to pick heroes that can eventually buy a Silver Age. so that you can break his passive or Monkey King Bar Hoarder, or even just get a Viper for yourself. So you have the Nanotoxin to break the passive, and Viper seems really good here. They need the front line, they need something to de-push from the Chan, and Viper can just sit in front of the Witch Doctor.
They can go Slug as well if they want, if they really want.
A Silver Edge carrier.
Yeah, Silver Edge carrier. Like Slug doesn't normally buy Silver Edge nowadays, but it's still a viable option.
We're going to go back for the Morphling instead for Execration.
Pretty dangerous running this Morphling.
So that's the magic burst we are talking about, right?
Yeah.
The E-Blade into Attitude Strike.
But early on though, you got to be careful, right? With the daggers, there's a good chance you just get one lucky crit on the Morphling while he's farming.
You always have to be careful as the Morphling. Like if there's one unlucky coup de grace, you will just straight up die.
Oh goodness, this will be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Bat Rider banned out. Finally. And Bat Rider is one of the heroes that can just drag this PA into a team and kill him off. I'm surprised that they didn't go for the Bat, but I guess if they go for the Bat, then this Bat has to be a support. Then they have to play them around as a core or something.
So what's this last hero that we're looking at for both teams? What are they both missing?
5 seconds
Yes,
remaining.
Christian is lacking of something like Initiator, or something that can play with the Beastmaster and ramp up the tempo together with him. Because they want, because we have said Morphling, he needs at least like a good 20 minutes of free farm to come online. And Execration, they need a hero that can go through, can transition through the mid game for Morphling to come online. Maybe something that is has more mobility. Something like a Lina could be good, I think, against the PA.
Yeah, Lina will be okay.
Or Viper, I honestly wouldn't mind to see a Viper.
Can you imagine if they go Razor?
I think it would fit.
But you are picking Razor last pick when you are not seeing the opponent's last pick though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good heroes to counter the Razor, so I don't know if you want to pick that. Most of the time when you are in this situation, when you need to blind pick a mid hero, you want to go for something that's more 50-50 against any heroes. And Kunkka,
It kind of ticks all the boxes, right? He's that initiator, he's a frontliner, he wants to build up that tempo early.
The Rum is always good.
Of course it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Adroit. But then again, if you look at Adroit, it's mostly the PA that's going to be doing their damage. So we're probably looking at 4 Protect 1 here.
Remaining.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah, still looking for that mid laner against Kunkka.
Because it seems like they're sort of, especially when you pick up a Coddle, you normally expect your team with the Coddle to be defending against pushes. You don't normally push too hard with that Coddle. And you've also got the Blinding Light, right? You're also going to have that for... Sorry?
They can go for the Lina, I think.
Lina?
But they're really squishy though with the Lina.
Yeah, true. I guess like looking for this mid lane, there's not too much.
Like the heroes from Adroit right now, the first 3 heroes are really lacking in damage. They have like great sustain, great disable, but not much damage until the PA comes in. But you don't really want to rely on the PA on the early game to get kills, right? So you probably want something like a really active mid hero. I think this is what the meta really about. You want to get heroes like hit level 7 and super strong already.
Common ones are banned, like Dragon Knight. Oh, I see that. What, Lina, Puck.
Heroes that are good against Kunkka, maybe something like a Timber Saw.
Timber Saw, but Timber is banned out as well.
Timber is banned out.
There's not much.
Monkey King maybe?
Monkey King is probably the best bet, I guess.
What if it's the Razor for Adroit?
I feel like Razor for Adroit is...
Yeah, it's okay. It destroys Kunkka.
Yeah.
But there's always a possibility that Kunkka switch lane with the Morphling. And if you YOLO your Razor pick for that and then end up facing up against Morphling, then this pick is completely pointless already.
Yeah, the Morphling doesn't really care about you. Yeah, this is a tough pick for Adroit with how they set up.
Yeah.
I think this Chen post 3, right? They pick the Coddle after that.
You have to pick a hero that is also that is good against Kunkka and also good against the Morphling.
It's not much choices. I don't know.
And
Elder
Titan.
Oh boy.
Explain this to me, Arthur.
The passive is good against any agility-based hero because it takes away all your base armor.
Yeah. And
Morphling is one of the heroes that really relies on the armor. And then you have and the aura pairing with the PA is also great, right? So your Coup de Grace comes in, hits really hard. So yeah, they're really throwing all the eggs in the PA basket right now to carry this game.
Yeah, he's gonna go for like an axe, and he just runs in and 2-shots the Witch Doctor.
You just the Witch Doctor, that's it, no one else.
We might maybe see a Tiani mid as well. We have seen crazy stuff like Elder Titan mid played by Thompson, but there's only to counter the meepo.
Yeah, it's direct. It's like a generic meepo counter. You get your Astral Spirit out. That's 4 meepos, so you just punch the meepo to death.
Yeah. But speaking about the effectiveness of this game, Elder Titan, he has great tools to stop the
push, right?
The follow-up from Execration. You roll one guy, you stomp the back line of Execration, and then you allow your carry to get out of the team fight.
Yeah.
So it allows you to reset the team fight and really determine how do you want to take the team fights.
Yeah, Earth Pillar is also really dangerous for a hero like Morphling because it deals percentage health damage. So like if this Morphling gets caught out, there's a high chance that Adroit can just burst him down. And it's also good against pushing, right? Execration wants to play fast. This Witch Doctor, Kunkka, Morphling, Beastmaster. The Echo Storm is always great to stop a push. This high ground defense from Adroit is decent. You have the Avatars, you have the Illuminate, and the Echo Storm. I think there's nothing better that you can ask for from Team Adroit.
Yeah, and I think this is prediction time. I'll let you go first. Who do you think will get? Who do you think will get it?
You're the one announcing the predictions, and then you're asking Husky first.
Okay, like I say I put my money on Team Adroit after game 1, but I still want to go with Execration.
Right? Still with Execration.
I'm still going with Execration.
Me too, actually. I want to go for Execration here, like just giving them mental support. And I think this is one of the best games that they might be able to get a win on. You know, Adroit, they're trying new stuff. They're trying the Elder Titan thing. They're running a offlane Chen. They don't really do so. So this is the best chance they get a win.
Well, let's see. Let's jump into the game. Alright, so it looks like the game is still paused. I think more importantly, we need to see who's going to be playing on all these heroes. So we've got Yaha be playing on that Mirana again, so it's going to be second performance on the Mirana. We'll be going to be changing side here. And...
oh, it's going to be a Mac Tiny, so that's a Tiny mid.
Looks like Boomy's going to be handling the Elder Titan this time, so... I mean, not to say that Tiny's role's really going to be changing. Tiny's still going to do the same thing. Blink forward, toss back, free damage for the team, avalanche, really good nuke as well.
Yeah, by putting in mid, you are able to do that even more early.
But do you feel like you're going to be pressured now that you've got this tiny mid? Because he's got a small window where he can, a lot of the times, just burst heroes down by himself. But eventually everyone starts getting tanky, and suddenly that burst can't one-shot anyone anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be that possibility. But they are running a very classic 4 Protect 1 here from Adroit. They are putting all their picks into the PA basket.
The bot's going to be on the Chen too.
Yeah, their timing is really early though, so I don't think we are going to see a Battle Fury PA coming. We are probably going to see something like a Deso BKB PA so that they can match up to the tempo of Chen and Tiny. They really want to play early. These are the heroes that you want to be ending the game at 20 to 30 minutes, because anytime after that you are going to fall off really hard. And Execration, they have really good late games with the Morphling.
How's the PA matchup in that top lane? Because it's going to be playing up against a Beastmaster who in most cases is really good in those melee matchups. How does PA normally deal with the Beastmaster? I
think he's pretty happy to play against the Beastmaster because of the blur. It's going to mitigate a lot of damage from the boar, and we talk about PA, his weakness is against the magical damage. So against heavy physical, he's alright. And he has Ninja E behind him for the blind as well. So even more limiting the effectiveness of the boar. I think he should be fine.
Alright, so it seems we've got our bounties for now. Equal trade across the board. Nothing too crazy.
The matchup is gonna be pretty classic, Tiny versus Kunkka. I think this Kunkka might come a little bit on top of this matchup, simply because Tiny start with 0 armor and Typebringer could really do a lot of harassment. The only thing Mac wants to do is to get really high level early on and then rely on the power rune to start moving around the map. So power rune fight is going to be the big is going to be the big thing that Mac is looking for.
Actually, in this Kunkka Tiny matchup, who's technically the stronger matchup? Is it going to be one hero the entire way, or does it eventually they meet up in the middle?
I think this is something like a 6-4 matchup in favor of Kunkka. Because Kunkka can always do more harassment without using mana.
But isn't there the chance that the Tiny could just come in once he's got levels in Avatos and just try and go for the snipe?
I think Kunkka is way too tanky for that, especially after you get 2 Brazier, which is the very common build of Kunkka nowadays. Very good job top. They are aiming down the board. They want to make sure that like the board gives away a lot of XP and gold. You always want to kill the board at level 1 especially. And they have good ways to do that, right? The Stifling Dagger and Blink Towards you can even get a point on the Illuminate to get to kill the board.
We're going to rotate another hero in that top lane.
Ooh, Boomy got a kill.
There we
Boomy
go.
a little bit aggressive.
It's going to be Palos getting that first blood as well. So already good news for Execration, first blood, and it's on their most important hero, which is that Morphling. That top lane though, are you happy with how that lane is, or would you actually want to apply more pressure into that top lane? Because you don't want to be giving away the boars away, of course, but you're dealing against, you're going up against a Keeper of the Light, and you want to shut down the PA. Do you need to bring another hero into that top lane, or do you just sort of need to bite the bullet and deal with it later?
Yeah, I think we want to deal with it later. Because right now, the board is really not effective against the PA, so all you want to do now is to get farm and get to your quick Necronomicon, and then start taking over the jungle. And most importantly, you don't want to be aiming the PA. So Kotter is going to be your target here. But Kotter is always going to be way behind though, so that's going to be very tricky to do that.
And with the blinding light, especially early on, that doesn't make it any easier. They almost did get the Keeper of the Light there, but not quite enough. But PA looking pretty happy. Natsumi, even though normally Beastmaster being a tough matchup, is more or less happy up here. He's a little bit behind the Beastmaster, but should be able to keep up. Looks like for now though, Tiny doing pretty well up against this Kunkka matchup, so it's not too bad. He's not struggling, but he's definitely not winning that matchup.
Yeah, but he's a little bit ahead of the CS though. But it's just because Banner haven't cleared his 4 creep weight yet, and now he'll be even. He's going for the double Brazier build.
Oh, Keeper is here now.
Coming for a little bit of bottle refilling mission. Bottom side is the one that we want to look out for. Morphling doing pretty good. He got a kill early, even though he's suffering a little bit in the CS chart, but he should be fine by not dying. As long as you get to level 5, you are very happy already, because it's just very hard. When you get early levels on the attribute shift, you are okay with surviving in the lanes.
Looks like we're going to be seeing Elder Titan coming into that mid lane. Looks like Tiny's also going to be jungling, as Kunkka's got the majority of the creeps on his side of the map. And top lane looks like they're going to be leaving the Beastmaster alone. And it looks like for now, Mac is going to be running into that Kunkka. Haste Stream picked up. Going to be denied from that Tiny. Just making sure they get it with Yaha.
Yeah. And something we haven't mentioned is that there's more setup for this Mirana in this time around. You have the Primal, you have the Kunkka X-Mark, and also Paralyzing Class from Witch Doctor. So it's going to make Yaha's life a little bit easier. Bok, on the other hand, is having only 13 last season, so not really having a good time.
Oh, there it is. Ben-Hur taking a lot of damage from Mac. This Tiny doing some good work on the Kunkka. Ends up getting that kill too. So Mac, regardless of having to deal with the Kunkka and his shenanigans, still going to be able to grab that kill solo.
Yep. Well played by Mac. This is a revenge from the last game, right? Because Banner did get a solo kill on him in the last game. And now they are even.
Fair and square? Not quite. Maybe if the game ties 1-1, that's what we're going to be calling fair and square. And oh, the steal! Yaha snatches it from the Keeper of the Light. It's a really nice steal too. I don't think the Coddle was expecting that leap in. Perfect distancing as well from the Mirana. So they did get something at least for the bounties. But looking at the CS though, PA and Tiny topping the chart, followed by that Morphling and the Beastmaster.
Oh, the career. He's not gonna get the second hit though.
Not quite. A little bit too slow. Looks like the hero, the core at least, that sort of fallen behind is that Chen. What's the expectations for Chen in this offlane? Is he supposed to keep up with CS, or will he catch up in the jungle? What's sort of that role with the offlane Chen for this game?
I think for the Chen, we want to get like early levels and then get really get your summons and then walk, just get group up with your teammates and ram out the tempo, get some towers. I think it's okay for Chen to be a little bit behind in the laning phase. We are going to eventually catch up in the jungle anyways, and most of the time your role is just to really follow your teammate, providing auras, providing the heals. That's your job.
Look for it. Enough vision for Yaha. Almost got it. Quite though. Now being chased up by Zube. The dagger actually looking forward as well. Now turning on to BHM. The Beastmaster's tanky though, but they're slowly chipping away, eating away at his HP. Gets that crit finally, but that was a little bit too late.
Yeah, Nasmi is really heavy right now in this top lane.
Oh, now gonna blink onto that Mirana. Oh, gotta be careful now because you're gambling with this PA's crits.
Yeah, thanks to the chakra, you can always be able to spam 2 daggers in one. So RNG is going to be in favor of PA, definitely. Tiny is looking to be very aggressive as well. He has the wind lace already, so he wants to be running around with power runes. And Boomies here is going to do his PA a little bit of Christmas gift.
Do you think it's for PA or is it for possibly for Tiny?
Maybe for the Chen as well, honestly.
Dire's middle tower is
Give
under
him a better chance at getting the creeps he wants to.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to clear stacks on the side of Adroit. Even Ninja Boogie can do that with some Illuminate, but I don't think he wants to be getting the juicy stacks.
Yep. We'll have to see who these stacks go to, who gets that farm priority. Mac is still in the jungle.
Oh, win a fatal brooch for Tiny. What else can you ask for?
Insta smoke as well after that, heading up into that top lane. Looks like Mirana should be the one to break that smoke. Did they see it though? Look at how he left a little bit too soon. Would have been able to spot that out for BHM, but never mind. Beastmaster just gets sniped down by the Tiny, and now it's going to be that Mirana on the run. Doesn't want to lose her life too.
Nice smoke by Ninja Boogie. So this is the tempo start for Tiny now. You will not see him on lane anymore. He'll be running around another stack.
Well, not going to quite get that one though. It's a bit difficult to stack them now. There's so many creeps. It's just so unfortunate in the top lane. If Yaha stuck around a little bit longer, they probably wouldn't have lost the Beastmaster so easily. But happens. Smokes.
Pound of Dominator on Chen as well. So this is gonna give them a little bit of tools to really ramp out the tempo, and Tiny is going to be the one clearing all the stacks.
Yep.
So
aiming for the early blink dagger,
yes.
It looks like.
Adroit is doing really well in terms of the role of everybody. Chen is just trying to stay alive in this bottom lane, trying to get his item. And Boomy knows that he couldn't pressure this offlane too much, so might as well use his time into stacking the jungle, enabling his Tiny to have a good timing, to have a good dagger timing.
Yeah, seems like efficiency-wise as well, Adroit, they sort of know how to make the most of their timing, farming as efficiently as possible. Now we're starting to see a push there from Adroit, pushing that bottom T1. Ben Hur's down here as well. Gonna bring in the ghost ship, but he's alone. He clears the creeps, but kind of used the ghost ship pointlessly there. Sure, it manages to kill off all the units, but that tower's gonna go down anyway. I suppose the best thing they could have asked for is that tower up top, which they managed to push, so it ends up more or less being an equal trade. Both safe lanes going down.
Yeah, but in the long run, this is definitely a big win for PA, because PA is a great hero in getting the ancient script. So being able to get this bottom lane to themselves, PA will be able to utilize the blur to get the ancient, and Morphling is just going to farm some normal nature's camp.
Alice gets hit there into the Coddle. Still alone though, he's got to be careful. There is backup, we've got the Necro units and the wall coming through as well. Oh, there's the cast coming in. They've got to be careful with their positioning. You don't want the multi-man casts to land. Palos fully committing on that Morphling to try and get the kill onto Mag, but he turns around. Now the nice strength morph will keep that Morphling alive, and now it's going to be Adroit on the retreat.
Oh, they get Boomy, but they lost 2 outposts for that. I think Boomy is very happy with this, because the mission of coming out to top is just to defend the outposts anyways. So this is probably a win for Adroit, and they should be very happy with it. Hookah is looking for Ninja Boogie.
Getting fogged. Oh, there we go. They will find him. Blinding light arrow. Pull back. There we go. Should be a kill onto the Coddle. nice little kill. And it looks like now we're just going to start seeing Execration pushing mid. So it seems like the tables have turned and Execration are the ones that want to try and put the tempo to this game. They don't want to wait for the PA. They say it's our turn to play. You fight when we want to fight. They've been catching out the Tiny here. Nice Echo Stomp, and even got a Tornado coming in there from the Long Ripper. Nice ultimate there from Boomy. They're still looking for kills. It looks like for now they just want to zone them out. Sure, the tower's down, but they just need to buy time for that PA.
Kunkka is so good in this situation to clear all the summon shooting from Chan.
It's being a nuisance as well for Mac, pulling back the Tiny, chipping away at his HP. The game continues, but the tower pushes are likely going to continue happening since Execration, they know that PA is going to be a nightmare to deal with, and they know she's free farming, but there is a bit of a cost to this. You try and take the map control away now so that PA doesn't feel safe farming.
Oh, Kunkka, he's going to punish Natsumi. He gets the
Does he have
red
backup?
Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like he's just there to harass the PA. They've got awards. They know that Ben-Her's alone.
Yeah, I see just now that PA might want to go for the Dazzle BKB route, but he has gotten very smooth early game, so might as well just go for the Fury for the endurance for late game.
Maybe they're just looking for that one mistake from Execration. Just shut them down during that one push, and after that your PA is just going to farm non-stop. It's like, oh, gets pulled back into the ghost ship. Oh, straight away, Will-O-Wisp gets tossed out as well, and oh my goodness, the Witch Doctor! Oh dear, he had no chance.
Another X mark?
Yep, they got the follow-up. X into that arrow, leap forward on the Mirana as well. This Tiny is tanky, gets tossed up. Oh my goodness. And Morphling finishing him off as well. Palos being able to contribute early to these fights. I think this is what Execration's been missing, that fifth person. Forcemaster, very close. It's like the creep will finish him off anyway, but they're still leaping forward. Yaha getting vision. They will kill off the Chen as well. Another Echo Stomp. Oh, the Mirana getting hit by it as well, put to sleep. Her HP was far too low, but Natsume's come in to contribute to these fights now. Chasing Ben-Her on that Kunkka. He's tanky. He's got the X down. Torrent thrown down as well. Getting ready to go for that pullback. It will not land. And Natsume looking to finish off the Kunkka. He won't find it though. Palos is still there. Oh, the Chen pick's doing a lot of work against that Morphling, and Palos is going to have to look at retreating soon. Morphing into strength, getting very tanky. They've got a lot of stuns and a lot of nukes to work with, but it looks like he just waveforms out of there for now.
A lot has happened, but the heroes from both sides didn't die, so that's a good thing for both sides. And we have really seen how easy your life can be when you pair Mirana with a good setup. Kunkka with the X-Mark constantly giving Mirana the opening for the arrow setup.
And I think in particular, something we're not sort of mentioning is that Natsume and the Morphling, he doesn't need to AFK farm this time. He can come to the fights earlier. I mean, PL can kind of fight as well, but Morphling just seems to fit his style of play much more perfectly. He's got a lot of... He's more aggressive.
Just coming with the waveform and stamp someone out. Yeah, you can say so. And Tiny finally getting his Blink Dagger at 40 minutes. This is going to help him snipe, get a surprise snipe on the Morphling. So Morphling right now has to be really careful if he's playing at full agility.
Oh, they seem mad. There's the Coddle there though. They're going to go for the Coddle. Should be a very simple kill. Oh, we get the mind off. They will grab that Coddle. It's a small kill, but at the end of the day, the Coddle is their best counter pusher on the side of Adroit.
Palos is really playing very aggressive.
He's getting pretty close to the E-Blade too.
Yeah, unlike the PL that is always farming the engines and whatnot, Morphling is a good hero for you to pressure tower as well while farming, because you have to wait for to get out constantly. And this time around, Adroit side, they don't have good heroes to punish the Morph. There's no one with Spirit Wrestler so far. Your Elder Titan is falling off really hard. This hero is all about team fight. You have no ability to skill. So eventually, Execration supports are going to outscale the supports from Adroit.
What's the progress on this PA? Has she managed to finish any big items? The Battle Fury, or maybe go for the Deso? Like, what's Natsume aiming for?
He's gotten his Battle Fury now. Yeah.
So now he's going for that BKB. But does the BKB really change anything for these fights? Because you're still going up against that Beastmaster.
Yeah, and also the Halberd has already completed on the Kunkka, so you are going to face a lot of issues going to team fight. Great itemization from banter. I want to say he realized that the only core from Adroit that is going to do damage is the PA.
Well, they managed to get the Echo Stomp off onto that Beastmaster. Tons of damage coming through, and it looks like they should be able to kill him. Oh, hang on. That was the Kunka, excuse me. Beastmaster came in from the top, went for the roar onto the Keeper of the Light. Ends up going into the right side. He will be able to TP out. Now it's RR running away from that Tiny. Should be able to grab him here. Crits, don't need one.
For RR, he's getting bullied.
So Palos gonna have to TP out as well. Little bit worried about getting caught out.
He's getting a very early E-Blade timing though. He's only 300 gold away from the E-Blade, so Execration should be looking at a smoke very soon with the freshly E-Blade from Morphling and try to get a snipe on the PA. PS is going to be our biggest target here from this point onwards. Because PA is going to need a lot of time farming the BKB. He has a Fury, he doesn't want to be involved in fights so far.
But I don't know if you can afford to have the PA not on these fights anymore, because now Palos with this E-Blade, I think they're definitely going to start going into these fights 5 versus 3. You can't go 4 versus 5 anymore.
Yeah. This is the prime of Execration. They want to be fighting right now.
So who's the primary target for this E-Blade? Who do you feel like is the most annoying hero to deal with on the side of Adroit?
Honestly, probably you want to take down the Koto first because he's the easiest one to target down. You need Vision to get him though, because his Willow Wisp is really disrupting the combo for Execration.
They got the damage, Valedict as well, and it should be a dead Elder Titan. Of the dust, slowly dying, and they will be able to grab him there with Ben-Hur, the torrent, making sure Ninja Boogie can't do anything on
All
the
the summon units though, they're all going to fall to the arrow, to the Tidebringer.
Free gold for that Mirana. Yaha going to be pretty happy with that. Now they continue pushing this E-Blade. Oh dear, trying to go for that Coddle there on Palos. This E-Blade ready, hungry for some Coddle blood. The PA, unfortunately, still farming in the jungle. Tiny's actually down bottom, so...
middle tower is under attack.
If this towers goes down, that's going to open up the Roshan potential for Execration. They have to be really careful for that.
Mac is nearby. He's ready. TP out. Looks like Yaha wants to protect that bottom lane. Oh, Morphling's actually there as well, looking to go for Natsume. With an arrow. Oh, look at all those leaps set up for the arrow. They will get it. Where's the damage? E-Blade, everything. Yep, Natsume's dead. 48 seconds. That's a lot of pressure alleviated there from Execration.
This is Mirana in a nutshell. You give him an early start to give him some setups. He'll be able to do this stuff. Just clipping and use you to get you down. It's tough to split push against the Mirana.
For more bots being spotted out there by Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur's Kunka has been phenomenal this game, just spotting out for the team. The arrow won't land, literally clipping on his backside. Box still running, but it's a Shen. Oh, there comes that, comes in with the Avatar. Yaha goes down, Primal Roar onto that Tiny. They're even using the Death Ward as well. Oh, the Elder Titan, oh, very important there to keep the Tiny alive. And it looks like the Witch Doctor is going to go down. So no kills going in the way of Execration. It's like losing their own heroes, but here comes the Morphling. The Kunka still alive. Ben-Hur, they're going to have to retreat now because this Morphling, they know how important Palos is to these fights. And now they're turning Beastmaster coming in as well. BHM Natsume coming into the fight too, needing to back up that team. Palos being the biggest threat so far, has no mana, still trying to go for that Morph. Torrent to delay, but Palos, one waveform, he will get off onto the high ground. Looks like they may have lost that vision. High ground ward, they're still searching, but they can't find Palos. Instead, they'll get that Beastmaster. Yaha's come back into the fight. There's no mana left onto that board because he can't cast any spells. They will grab a couple extra kills too. Tiny as well as Elder Titan. They're still chasing. Palos still alive and a little bit of mana to work with, but Adroit, that was a bit of a sketchy fight. They did get a couple kills, but at the cost of their own heroes.
I think it's a very 50-50 fight, but PA is definitely the winner of this. He's already halfway through the halfway towards the BKB. We have already seen how strong he can be when he's playing these kiting games. Whenever Execration is low and after they completed all their spells, PA will be a king in the team fight. Especially after the BKB.
You gotta keep farming on this PA. And this is probably the scary thing for Execration because they know that they've got to keep these fights going, and Natsume will eventually become a really big threat, probably even bigger than Palos on that Morphling. And so, is there any changes we're expecting from some of these movements from Execration, or do they just keep pushing pushing until they eventually just whittle down Adroit, because it seems the moment they slow down, it's a big win for that PA.
Yeah, true. I think right now they want to utilize their amazing ability to catch side lanes with the X mark, with the use.
Looking. They found the portal. Look, the backstab coming out from Adroit. They managed to pull off the Witch Doctor straight away, and now everyone is completely isolated on Execration, split up, no backup. Looks like they might also lose the Beastmaster. They got no detection. Beastmaster will get away. That was pretty good actually for Execration. It could have gone a lot worse, but without the dust, with no more detection, the Moonlight Shadow protecting the team.
Yeah, can't kill me if you can't see me. And that was a buyback from Cordo as well. BKB usage plus Cordo buyback, and you only lose one hero on the side of Execration. This is a big win. But can you defend this mid tower though? Because if you can't, you are going to open the Roshan potential for Adroit as well. You have Execration side that have great tools to do Roshan.
Lewis gets thrown down. Beastmaster very low. Look at the Tiny. He wants to try and kill off that Beastmaster before he can do anything in these team fights. And there we go, BHM done and dusted. Beautiful stomp to cancel out the channel. They're still chasing though. Natsume, yeah, he was too far forward. He just gets shut down by the torrent, and now it's going to be Adroit on the run. Oh, they're still looking. Palos going forward. This big bad Morphling looking for blood, but he can't quite get vision on anybody. They're still going to chase bot though. This Chen gonna go down. What is it really going to be doing though? Palos actually found Mac. They will toss him back instead. He's going to go towards the Keeper of the Light instead, knowing that these small squishy supports without the protection of the Tiny, easy to snipe down.
Oh, that was weird because the P has just fallen and Mac was still running in to hope to get a snipe, but that's just too optimistic for them.
Maybe getting a little too confident after some of those successful defenses. Yeah,
they wanted too much after the win. They wanted to push the towers, but there's no BKB. That BKB is not available for the PA, so easy X-Mark into comboing them.
And now into Roshan
enough to bring them down, and Roshan will be falling into the hand of Morphling, so this Morphling is already a trouble to deal with for Adroit side, and now it's going to be even harder for them to deal with.
No defense at all. Everyone's just going to spend the rest of this time farming after Adroit. Got to prep themselves for that high ground, although they do have the benefit of high ground. Keeper of the Light, amazing high ground protection. Same thing with the Elder Titan, and especially if a fight does erupt on that high ground, Tiny can just come in from the back and really just surprise Execration by coming in with the Avatos. We've seen a couple times he's managed to get those backstabs and he gets some pretty important kills, but we're starting to see the Tiny run out of steam too. His Avatos is not insta-killing heroes anymore, and he's also falling to the fact that there's a lot of damage output because of this Beastmaster aura from Execration.
Yeah, and Beastmaster, and for Execration, their hero are also itemizing themselves to stay alive for all these bursts. We have seen the triple brazier plus power threats on the Mirana. He's sitting at 1.7k HP, so you definitely don't want to go for this guy. You're just wasting all your spells for him. And Tiny is going for the E-Blade, so hoping to increase his burst damage. He knows that his damage is already starting to lag and to fall off. But you are really being really one-dimensional though. This Tiny is going to be just jumping in, avalanche toss, and if you don't kill anybody, you have to retreat off and wait for your cooldowns for like a 10-second. So it's really easy for Execration to play around it.
Oh, another smoke.
This time around, it's Adroit that is facing some damage issue.
Hello? Instead they're going to go for the jungle.
Beastmaster.
Oh, they found the Beastmaster. Yeah, do they have the damage for it? Detection. They've got the dust, and that should be the Beastmaster down. Big kill as well. 40 seconds with no buyback. Kuka going to run past that tower. She just finished off his BKB, and they have no vision on this either. Oh, Will-O-Wisp, they've actually found the Kuka. Got the BKB if he really needs to pop it.
Is it delivered? Yeah?
Is it delivered? I saw the courier go to him just now. They managed to stun him up with the Chen. The Creep's being a nuisance to their Kuka so far, but it looks like they can't actually finish anything. Palos is being a nuisance again. They looks like they want to finish up this Chen. He's the lonely hero straggling behind his teammates, the Blink out as well. They got the Beastmaster, but at the cost of the Chen.
Yep. I mean, they have to invest so many things to just kill one Beastmaster because they are heavily lacking in damage right now. Cordo Kodo, Elder Titan, and Chen that really don't do any damage. All they provide is sustain and disable. So PA has to take on most of the responsibility to kill down this tower, these heroes, but Execration is not giving them the chance.
And Palos also has Ace Eye of Skadi, so he's now not only going to hit harder, he also reduces the healing, and as an added bonus, he's now got the slow effect from the Skadi, which means if you fight Palos and he's chasing you down, you're not going home.
Yeah, the Elder Titan are going to suffer a lot from this out of Skadi. And not to mention, there's a gold ramp to always keep Execration heroes healthy as well.
Palos is walking into strength, he's got to be careful, very low. He's got the Aegis, but you don't want to waste it. Looks like for now, they're just going to try and preserve the Morphling, and Natsume is still farming away in that bottom lane. He's got his BKB. Next up is that Deso. It's very close. It looks like it's going to be recalled home.
Yeah, he needs to get any kind of item that can amplify his damage. All he wants to do is to hope for RNG and then quickly snipe down a few heroes before they start the fight.
It's difficult there because once he shows himself, it seems like every time he either gets roared or X'd by that Kunkka.
Yeah.
You're starting to see, I suppose, Execration, they also feel that Natsume is coming offline too, so they're not running at them willy-nilly anymore. They're showing respect to say, we know that your heroes are starting to get a little bit stronger. We need to be careful with how we approach these fights. And it looks like Keeper of the Light's been isolated alone in the river. Looks like he should go down to death ward as well. Wow, they really did not want to fight with that Keeper at all. They're going to keep chasing, but don't have vision for X.
Yeah, Execration is really forcing Adroit to just play with themselves. So slowly they're going to choke Adroit, and the only one getting farm is really going to be with PA.
I think at this rate, that's probably the best thing, right? As long as the PA gets that farm, Natsume is going to be their last hope. Deso is complete. He will not have any buyback though. He's completely bought this out. And Natsume is going hard. He say go hard or go home, especially when you're playing this carry.
He's got a little bit of assistance from Gaben, though he got an off instruction. So that's going to help him in dealing with. That's going to help him in dealing with the getting down the beefy heroes from Execration. Banner is working his way to the assault. This is probably the best hero, the best item that you want when you're up against the PA. So really, Execration this time, they're itemizing perfectly. This is the weakness of playing a 4 protect 1 lineup, right? It's so easy to deal with the one core from the opponent side. You can either just burst him down every time or just itemize so well that that limits his effectiveness in the game.
I think also we remember when we saw that T1 game, another way you can, unfortunately it wasn't successful, but in that game, if you just destroy the teammates, then you isolate that carry by himself. Oh my goodness, Ben-Hur, that was a lot of damage, but you can tell they are so scared of engaging into Execration. So scary.
Yeah, Execration is going to play this safe. They know that they have a lead, so nothing to be, they don't have to rush for anything, just going to get more items.
Do you think maybe Execration are playing this a little too safe, or is this what they need to do to ensure the win here?
I mean, they are very close to their first win here, so they definitely want to play safe, I think, and I think this is the correct choice.
A shadowed lead. They managed to find the Elder Titan, the Yules from Yaha. They will actually block the arrow with the Tiny instead, but is that maybe a mistake? Oh, the Malak is just taking a lot of damage as well, which dropped the first one to go down. Actually getting hit by the E-Blade as well. Mac is dead. Primal War gets used as well. And unfortunately for Natsume, he's isolated now. Nearby, the PA is dead. With no buyback, only 3 heroes left. Yaha, that leap into the Yules. Oh my goodness.
Mirana and also Palos was doing so much in that team fight. He pretty much solo killed the super beefy Tiny with the E-Blade combo and then turn into the Tiny, and now it's going to turn into Tiny again. The Boomy is in power.
Look at that Skadi too. Oh, it just blows up Boomy. Great buyback as well. They've got to start defending these Raxes. They still have good heroes for defending. Elder Titan with the Echo Stomp, really great for slowing down those Raxes. But for how long can they slow this down? Because without Natsume, they pose no threat to Palos.
Yep. 30 seconds off the line.
Oh, the
Kodo is not going to die though. But nothing can stop this guy. He's going to tear around the towers. He's moving to the second Rex now, and You have the Beastmaster Aura for you to handle tower even quicker. On top of that, you have the Dragon Skill as well for more tower damage.
10 seconds left for that PA to come back. And I think Execration just going to make sure they don't make it too many mistakes here. They're going to slowly back up. There was the blink forward from Mac, but not able to get the Avatos.
Execration is going to chill. The second Roshan is up in any time, I think. So they definitely want to wait for the second Roshan, get the cheese and Aegis before they walk to the high ground again and end them. So they want to be really chill now. Don't want to die. They don't want to die before the Roshan spawn though. That's the biggest thing that you want to avoid.
So probably just some downtime for both teams to get that farm. Now, the good news here for Execration is that they've managed to finally condition Adroit so that they don't separate. And there's kind of a good and bad thing. They're going to be able to protect Natsume because they'll always have 5 heroes, but the bad news is that they won't be able to farm the map efficiently compared to Execration, who feel much more confident. They've got Yaha in that bottom lane picking up EXP on his own, getting his next item, which is going to be the Aghanim Scepter. And this rate, Execration, they are poising themselves to get that first win. I think maybe compared to some of these previous games, they played a little bit messy, a bit too fast, but now it seems like they've kept their composure. Palos looking for Boomy. Gotta be careful here. Yeah, they're both scouting out that Roche pit, it seems.
Oh, he's gonna change his mind. So going for the Lotus Orb instead, making sure that Morphling stays alive most of the time, and he knows that Morphling is the one that has to deal with the damage output. He's gonna just go for the utility style, making sure that Morphling doesn't die. I like this though, I like this decision a lot. Because the Lotus Orb is gonna be so good in this game in protecting the Morphling.
I think at this rate, Palos is pretty much unkillable now, as long as they get all of their defensive spells to protect that Morphling.
He's 9-0 and 6, so I think if he doesn't make mistake like accidentally morphing into full agility, I think he should be fine. Yaha is also doing a very good job, constantly pushing out bottom lane, forcing Adroit to respond to this so that it opens up openings for Execration to do a really quick Roshan snipe if there is a chance for them to do that.
Guardian Greaves completed onto Bot as well. That's his second item complete. So he's got access to that Purge. Might come in handy a little bit later on, but this rate, it's not an item that's game-changing, unfortunately. It's not something like a refresher or where you can suddenly have 2 Echo Stomps. It's nothing like a Divine Rapier, unfortunately. They're just trying to poise themselves. It's basically going to be this next high ground. If they can defend it, and if they can possibly punish Execration for any silly maneuvers they decide to make. And now it's going to be Roche time, and it's going to be pretty quick too. There is an Echo Stomp available. Moonlight Shadow gets deployed, so it's going to be hard to engage into this unless they got vision down there preemptively. Rumi gets the eggs onto the high ground. Palos wants to finish up the Elder Titan. They've got the arrow as well, so unfortunately for Elder Titan, he's going to be stuck for a very long time. The roar onto the PA, Natsume did nothing for pretty much an eternity there. He was up the Witch Doctor right away, but you've lost the Titan, you've lost the Chase. Morphling ends up dying to Mac. Big mistakes being made there by Palos. He does have buyback available. Lotus gets deployed there on the Mirana, who wants to leap one out of there. Roar gets tossed up by Mac, and that's going to be another Roar from having to buy back here. Is this the mistakes that Adroit needed to make the most of? E-Blade to try and delay the death of that Keeper of the Light. Blinding Light as well. Carts getting thrown out, but here comes that Morphling. They did delay the Roshan, but it was a pretty costly delay.
Yeah, I think this is the best that Adroit could hope for. Getting a kill on Morphling and forcing him to buy back, but Morphling is always going to be stronger than PA if PA doesn't have BKB. So this is a thing about the matchup between these heroes, and that's why Morphling is always going to be better against PA when it comes to the really late game. Because Morphling is a hero that doesn't really rely on BKB to do damage, whereas PA is just gonna get kited if he doesn't have the BKB.
I think one of the toughest things as well for Natsume, even though he's playing such a big PA, is that every time he comes into these fights, he gets Primal Roar, whether he's BKB'd or not. And when he's stuck in that stun duration, it's just so much time for his teammates to get sniped down. We're already seeing the damage output from Execration. They can easily delete some of these backline supports in a matter of 1 to 2 seconds. And unfortunately for the PA, he needs, Natsume in particular, he needs all this backup because again, their whole lineup revolves around the PA. And
Yes.
if the PA is alive but stunned, so what? Your
Yep.
PA is not doing anything.
Most of the time, you want to play PA, you want to be blurred, go in, get one or two snipe kills without being noticed. But most of the time, when you jump into Execration, you are jumping into 5 of them, and you're going to get primary rod. So, like you say, there's a lot of ways to deal with the PA, making sure that he does not just come in with the ninjas. He just starting to pick up your supports. And now with second Aegis on the hand of Morphling, how are you going to kill this guy the second time? Even though if you're taking him down the first time, he's going to have the stunning, he's going to have the cheese.
Dire are scanning.
Life of Adroit is getting harder and harder right now.
Yeah, it's not getting easier at all, unfortunately. I'm hoping that the 4 protect one would be enough, but this game is a lot difficult to swallow, I suppose. There we go. X.
Oh, did they really just use the repair kit?
Dire's top barracks
Yeah.
has fallen.
Looks like they did.
Oh, the range?
Radiant's
And they
bottom-
lost the
Radiant's
Rex
bottom
for that
tower is
too.
under attack.
Oh, I'm not sure if they're worth it.
Okay, right. They're going to start off with the Morphling. He's got the Aegis, and
Wow.
he probably wants to get some of these spells down. So now there's going to be no ulti there for Boomy. Wave Bomb out. Will-O-Wisper's there, but can they kill Palos? Oh, the Lotus gets popped as well. Ghost Ship gets thrown down and throws the Tiny up into the air. Primal War gets deployed as well. PA stuck in that stun duration. We have BKB, but so what if you're stunned? Palos now going to be on the run. Mesco with him as well. Blade Lotus. They take down the Morphling. Got no buyback for the next 100 seconds. They did throw the ultimate there from the Witch Doctor, but now having to retreat. Ben Hur on the run with those spider legs. It looks like he's going to be thrown in the air with that Yules. Tossed by back. And that should be... Oh,
Dire's top
Is this the
barracks-
turnaround?
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
You have to give a round of applause to the Adroit. The way to execute the attempt to kill the Morphling was perfect. They tossed him back into the Sanctuary, get a stun, and into Elf Split. So everything to burst down the Morphling, and he didn't have BKB, right? So Ninja Boogie just put a Will-O-Wisp on top of him, making sure that they have enough burst damage to bring him down, and there's 70 seconds without Morphling in the game. This is gonna give PA all the time for him to get down the outer towers, but this is only the first step for him to get back into this game though.
yep. First step. Now they've got to somehow work in towards that step 2 now, which is taking those objectives and being able to bring the fight to Execration, not doing it the other way around. Because mind you, they did kind of have the high ground advantage. So now they've got to figure out how do we fight them on equal footing. Because that's been their main issue so far. And unfortunately for Natsume, his BKB duration is going to start getting shorter and shorter. He's been using this BKB quite a lot. And 30 seconds of no Morphling. Looks like this might just have to be the way that they come back. They're going to take down a set of racks here. They just go straight for T4s. It looks like no. They're going to try and go back for that T2 mid. They're going to bring some people home because look at what Yaha's doing. He's been trying to push those creeps inside the enemy base.
And I think that's a smart choice. They don't want to be overconfident. Whenever you are pulling these comebacks, you want to just satisfy with all these small wins and slowly get this baby step again and slowly climb your way back into the game. You don't want to be pushing your limits. And that's definitely the best choice that the Droid is doing. Nasumi, it's buying more time for him to get to the Abyssal Blade. He has the Basher, so this is one way to get down the Morphling or just cancelling the ultimate from Witch Doctor as well.
Oh, the arrow onto Max. So at least they didn't get Yaha, but they have a rough idea on what's going on here. This game is starting to get really spicy now. It's starting to get close to that late game. 40 minutes now. Items are starting, especially on the cores. They've got a lot of items to work with.
Timeless Relic
Yeah.
taken up by a Droid. Would they give this tiny or Outer Titan?
Find out in a minute.
Both are really good with the extra duration of stuns.
Who do you feel like is more important with it though?
Are scanning.
Who would utilize it better in this game?
Radiant's top
I think Boomy might want to hold on the
top
Orb Disruption because he has BKB, he'll be able to punch. Whereas Tiny, all he do is to spell cast, so will be Tiny holding a Timeless Relic.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, Wheeler Chakra is going to be really useful. Another extra 1 HP always feels good against a PA.
To see that extra HP. So it looks like the game is starting to slow down now. That momentum that they were looking at for Execration after that, because a pretty bad team fight up top. They did get the set of Raxes, but pretty expensive. Oh, they managed to find that Kunkka.
He's there for sure.
Yeah, they should be able to grab him here. Still running crits and crits. No crits, but he still gets the kill. That's 90 seconds off the board as well. Minute and a half of free time now for Adroit, unless they want to maybe try and push up high ground. But I think now you just want to get as many items as you can on that PA. Yaha still being a pest though, pushing down that mid lane, trying to keep those creeps on Execration's favor. Oh, Tiny trying to look for Yaha there. He's gonna blink on out of there. All the crew are coming in, so having to divert his path.
Oh, here comes the tier 4 items.
Yeah.
Subvolt Hammer, Illusionary Capes.
This game's getting crazier and crazier.
I think the best one PA might want to get is the Princess Knife. I think
Princess Knife.
that's gonna be pretty good in, especially in building the PA, right? You can just blur, stay in the smoke, and then jump in with the instant hacks. That's gonna be really useful.
I think especially on someone like the Beastmaster, because he seems to cause the PA a lot of grief, right? Comes in, just primal roars, basically Beastmaster's job is done, right? Just stun the PA. But then once you get that, if he doesn't get the stun off, Natsumi not only gets the kill, now you're going to be fighting 4v5. And Natsumi's only issue has been the Beastmaster, so let's see how they sort of deal with this. We've got Ninja Gear being picked up on the side of Adroit. Also Moonlight Shadow being used. I believe Yaha's using this to get away himself, actually being spotted out by Bok. There are a lot of enemy heroes nearby as well, so Marana wanting to get into position so that he doesn't get sniped. Everyone so far is in the Radiant side of the map, which is really peculiar. You would have thought that it would have been Adroit's side of the map, but seems like for now Adroit feeling pretty happy with their position. They're happy with Natsume's progress so far, and those items that they picked up from their previous team fight, feeling a bit better at least, not being choked out anymore, which was their main issue up until this point.
Yeah, they're confident now. We have 5 minutes more.
Who will they feel?
Yaha.
Yaha, yeah, he's got the Lotus Orb now, so he's going to just use that for now to get away. Abyssal's complete on Natsumi, so that's a really big item picked up. If he can get the Abyssal off before the Primal Roar, then Natsumi's done his job. Just snipe someone down and all of a sudden it's going to be shambles there for Execration.
Right now is the battle of the third Roshan. Either Agony or a Pressure Shot is going to be really great for both sides. The double Raw or the double below wall reaps.
Really good. Yaha, the BKB gets used. E-Blade to protect that Miranda Yules as well. Lotus Orb, Blink, Leap. Oh, they've used the Will-O-Wisp as well.
Good kite from Execration. Well, it's a 5-second BKB anyways for Natsumi, so he doesn't mind to just pop the BKB early, but that's definitely not optimal, right? You don't want to just go in, pop BKB at the very first second of the team fight, because
but we got the Moonlight Shadow, so now it's going to be Execration on the hunt. It's not Adroit. They are grouped up, so at least if a fight does happen, they will be ready. Let's see what angle they decide to come from. Kunkka spotting out the creep, may have just seen the Coddle and the Tiny as well. No, they're going for the Roche. And it looks like Adroit have no idea about this either. They're going to kill the creep. They want to make sure the creep doesn't see it, but obviously if you're Adroit, you know this Kunkka is actually trying to prevent the Roshan from being spotted. The line's been drawn, it's too late.
who's going to get Agony? Let's see. Oh, the Kunkka, nice. This is really great. Especially against a droid that PA has only 5-second BKB, so the Torrent Storm is going to be really useful in kiting the PA around.
But they might lose the Kunkka. He's a little bit far from his team.
He has a cheese and BKB. I think if he doesn't get burst down, he should be fine.
He missed out on the initiation. He tried to predict where Ben-Hur was going to land. Arrow, oh, it's a little bit too early though. Couldn't quite get that angle. They will get the dagger off. You can see both teams are trying their best to get the best angle for their squads, but no one really in the right spot to start a fight yet.
Right now the game is in control of Execration. They're doing a smoke again. They'll be going in with a Moonlight Shadow perhaps.
A bit relentless here. They're going onto the high ground. Worst if they could run for a spirit high ground and have Kalos being insta-stunned there by Natsume. There we go, onto the high ground. Mac actually going to be bursted down first. It looks like they're going to try and grab the kill onto that Beastmaster. Raw actually ended up happening anyway. And now Natsume isolated. Do they have the damage to finish off the PA? They did end up buying back on that Tiny. They really need Mac for this team fight. The BKBs doesn't really matter. The boat gets used as well. Natsume will go down 100 seconds. He's got that buyback ready if he needs to use it.
Buyback.
He's going to be using it. Morphling still chasing after Mac. He knows the Tiny's already used his buyback. Morphling, he's going to be using his Aegis. Finally, Chen going down as well. So many Yules. Elder Titan, they do finish off the Tiny. So now permanently off the table. Boomy going to be the next hero to fall. It seems they slowed by that Skadi. But here we come. Natsume has to save it for the team, but he's all alone. Can he grab it? Palos, that's his big target. Looks like it won't be the case. They will retreat for now. Lots of buybacks being used, but Mac, one of their biggest heroes, not going to be there for the next 100 seconds. Coddle at least will have a buyback, but this might just be the opening execution needed. Mac, really important when it comes to these initiations.
Yeah, they take a very successful fight outside of the base. So right now, if Execration wants to walk up to the high ground, any kills that they get, they are pretty much guaranteed that anyone is dead, doesn't have buyback anymore. And MP is absolutely bad when he buys back because he doesn't have the BKB duration to play with. So even if you buy back, you are going to feel really bad into jumping into the opponent.
It just seems like one of the biggest problems with Natsume is he can just never stick to anyone. He's always being kited, he's always being stunned, he's always chasing somebody. He's not able to just sit on top of them and finish them off. Even the E-Blade as well, you know, the E-Blade on the Morphling just doesn't make his job any easier.
And also, they can always also choose to E-Blade their life as well, right? You don't have the nullifier to get rid of that. Another
all gets used. They really want to get that kill onto the Elder Titan. No more Echo Stomps for you. They say Chen goes down as well. There's the buyback on the Elder Titan, but it might just be it. They're focusing down those T4 towers. 3 heroes go down. They still have the PA, but with no one else to back him up, Natsume going down yet again. That's a dieback. Elder Titan who finished off in the fountain. Oh dear, Adroit, they just get picked apart. Execration, it was a long battle, but they played it safe. They did make one mistake going up onto that high ground fight a little bit earlier with that Aegis, but they managed to get the win.
Yes, well deserved for Execration. This is the style that we want to look at, right? Get rid of the trend, stop playing the defensive lineup.
You really don't like the trend.
Yes, and go for this aggressive lineup. Dota 2 is all about aggressive. We have seen OG